What if Honda took the Ridgeline's biggest advantage, the ability to behave like a comfortable everyday vehicle, and suddenly gave it the attitude of a serious off-road machine? That's exactly what makes this custom 2027 Honda Ridgeline concept so interesting. It doesn't try to become the biggest or loudest pickup on the road. Instead, it takes the Ridgeline formula and pushes it in a much more aggressive direction. And there's one design change in particular that completely transforms the way this truck looks from the driver's seat. Welcome back to the Car Zone. Now, before we get too far ahead, there's an important distinction here. This is a custom concept vehicle, not an officially confirmed 2027 Honda production model. So what you're seeing is a vision of what the next generation Ridgeline could look like if Honda decided to turn up the aggression while keeping the practicality that made the Ridgeline different in the first place. And honestly, the front end is where this transformation begins. The nose looks wider, lower, and considerably more confident. Instead of relying on a soft, family-friendly appearance, this concept gives the Ridgeline a much stronger visual identity. The grille becomes a major focal point, framed by sharper bodywork and modern LED lighting. Those headlights give the truck a more focused expression, almost like it's staring straight through traffic rather than simply sitting in it. Then you notice the hood. The sculpted lines give the front end more depth, while the raised center section creates the impression that there's something serious underneath. The bumper looks tougher too, with larger visual air openings and a more purposeful lower section. Even when the truck is standing still, the design suggests movement. But here's where things get interesting. The Ridgeline has always occupied an unusual space in the pickup market. It isn't trying to imitate a traditional body-on-frame truck in every possible way. Honda built its personality around comfort, usability, and everyday drivability. This custom concept doesn't throw that philosophy away. Instead, it asks a different question. What if that same practical personality came wrapped in something that looked ready for the trail? Move around to the side, and the answer becomes obvious. The proportions remain recognizable as a Ridgeline, but the stance is much more dramatic. Larger wheels, tougher tires, stronger lower body cladding, and a more planted suspension appearance give the truck a completely different character. The wheel arches visually stretch outward, making the body look wider and more athletic, and that's important because wheels can completely change the personality of a pickup. Here, they don't simply look oversized for the sake of looking expensive. They help create that balance between modern street presence and rugged capability. The side profile stays clean, with a relatively smooth cabin shape, but the darker trim and muscular lower sections add enough contrast to keep it from looking like a conventional family truck. The mirrors, windows, and roofline maintain the practical Ridgeline character, while the sharper body creases introduce something more dramatic. It feels less like Honda designed a truck to impress you in a showroom, and more like someone took a familiar Honda formula and asked, "How far can we push this?" Now let's talk about the bed, because this is one area where the Ridgeline has always had its own personality. The pickup bed is not just visual decoration, it's the part of the truck that has to work. Whether you're carrying equipment, loading weekend gear, hauling bikes, or simply using the vehicle as an everyday utility machine, this is where the concept has to prove that aggressive styling hasn't compromised practicality. And from the rear, the design gets even more interesting. The taillights create a modern signature across the back, while the rear bumper looks wider and more substantial. The tailgate maintains the truck's useful proportions, but the surrounding styling makes the entire rear section feel tougher. There's a sense of width here that makes the Ridgeline appear more planted on the road. Even the lower rear section gets attention, with a more performance-inspired appearance and stronger visual protection around the bumper area. It's a small detail, but it changes the entire attitude of the truck. Step inside, and the story becomes more familiar. Instead of turning the cabin into some futuristic spaceship, this concept works best when it combines Honda practicality with a more premium atmosphere. Imagine a driver-focused dashboard, a clean digital instrument display, a large central infotainment screen, a modern steering wheel, and materials that feel durable enough for daily use while still giving the cabin a more upscale character. The seats would naturally become a major part of that experience, with supportive bolstering and contrasting stitching, adding a sportier feel. And this is something the Ridgeline formula gets right. The truck doesn't need to feel like a punishment every time you drive it. You could imagine spending an entire day behind the wheel without feeling like You're operating a piece of heavy machinery. Visibility remains important. Storage remains important. Controls need to be easy to understand, and that balance between comfort and utility is exactly what could make a concept like this so appealing. Now, what about performance? This is where we need to separate imagination from confirmed information. Honda has not officially announced the specifications of this custom 2027 concept, so there's no responsible way to give you made-up horsepower numbers, acceleration times, or top speed figures. But visually, the concept is clearly communicating a different intention. It looks like a ridgeline designed to feel more confident when the pavement ends. The wider stance, tougher tires, aggressive bodywork, and rugged visual details suggest a vehicle that could handle rougher environments while still being comfortable enough for normal city driving. And that combination might actually be the most interesting part of the entire idea, because not everyone wants a massive pickup. Some people want something that fits into everyday life, feels easy to drive, has useful cargo space, offers modern technology, and still looks tough enough to make you turn around after parking. That's where this custom Ridgeline becomes more than just an aggressive redesign. It becomes a statement about what a modern Honda pickup could be. Not the biggest truck, not the loudest truck, not the most extreme truck. Just a smarter truck with considerably more attitude. And now we come back to that detail I mentioned at the beginning. The biggest transformation isn't actually the grille, the wheels, or even the rear design. It's the way all of those elements work together to change the Ridgeline's visual identity without completely abandoning what makes a Ridgeline different. That's the clever part. You can still recognize the Honda underneath all the aggression, and maybe that's exactly why this concept works. If Honda ever decided to push the Ridgeline toward a more rugged, performance-inspired future, a design like this could give the truck something it has always been searching for: a stronger emotional presence without sacrificing the everyday usability that defines it. So, would you choose this aggressive custom Ridgeline over a traditional full-size pickup? Or would you rather Honda keep the Ridgeline focused on comfort and practicality? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this look at a possible future for Honda's pickup, make sure you're subscribed to the Car Zone. There are plenty more incredible automotive concepts coming your way, and the next one might be even harder to ignore.